TOA family, what's going on? Happy Monday. That's right. Eric Huber here, product specialist with TOA Electronics. And we have a brand new podcast for you guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What a beautiful day it is. We just got out of a heat wave. Thank everything out there that's gone. It is beautiful outside. And let's talk about commercial AV. Let's talk about what's going on. What's going out in the world today. Guys, if you don't know about this podcast, we talk about everything commercial AV every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is uploaded to all social media channels via TOA. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram even. We're all over the place. All over the place. Brand new shirt. Check it out. Check out the shirt. For you Star Wars fans out there. That's right. AT-AT. Imperial Walker. Cue the track. All right, so we got a brand new article that we pulled up, and we want to talk about what's going on currently and where the trends are shifting. Basically, that's what we're going to be discussing today. And I got a beautiful article here from Commercial Integrator. If you guys don't know about Commercial Integrator, it is a great resource for whatever's going on currently. And I encourage you guys to keep up with the trends and really get to know what's going on in the market and, you know, how you can benefit yourselves, how you can prepare yourselves for these trends. We need to know what companies and organizations are doing out there and how they're changing, because organizations are changing every single day. I kid you not. Not only that, but the technology out there is quickly changing, especially on the software side of things. And you guys need to be aware of you know, what's available, how you can benefit your customers, how you can help out, so on and so forth. So let's dig in. The article I have here, and we'll link it in the description below, is 5 predictions for the future of the office. And we're going to be focusing on the office environment and what's currently going on and what teams are leaning towards, the direction they're going in. And we're going to be focusing on audio, but obviously video is humongous in terms of communication, especially in today's day and age where everybody's working in separate locations. Offices and companies have discovered that, you know, coming to the office may not be necessary. And it depends on the organization, right? It really depends on the organization. But we know for a fact, even companies that, you know, like us, for example, you know, we came to the office every single day. We discovered a whole new world out there on how we can operate effectively, you know, without coming to the office 100% of the time. And a lot of companies were not prepared for those things, but they jumped on the bandwagon. And for some, it has become much more efficient. So companies, you know, coming back after this, have discovered new ways to operate effectively. And in order to do that, new tools were integrated or presented for those structures. So going forward, and this is, you know, as integrators, keep this in mind that, you know, companies are going to be hiring more contractors and freelancers. Basically, this means that, you know, they're going to be outsourcing to a certain point. And these are typically perhaps temporary type workers. But going back to the commercial AV side of things, these workers need to come in and be able to link in. And when I talk about link in, I mean connect. And this is done over network. So whomever, you know, if you have a partner, a business partner, a contractor, or whatever, any type of business that you guys are integrating for, you need to make sure that whomever's coming in is able to connect to the office environment or whomever out there in the world. This could be obviously with software over network. Besides that is the bridge. We get that. But what about the hardware? The devices that are actually taking in the video or taking in the audio. By the way, quick plug here. I am using a DM1300 US, boom, dynamic wired mic. If you guys don't know, we actually have 2 great dynamic wired mics for multiple uses, and I'm running this guy here, and it sounds fantastic for vocal and speech applications. The list goes on. I'm using it for podcasting, and it's been fantastic. So the hardware, aside from those software integrations that typically you may or may not be pushing or partnered with, but the devices that are taking in the audio, in the video, and you have to make sure they're set up for that, especially if these are contractors and freelancers that are maybe selling or presenting a product publicly or a solution publicly, whatever the business is selling, to another organization. Internally, maybe it might not, maybe an onboard camera and microphone might be totally fine, for phone calls and meetings. But if he or she is portraying the company to a public source or a potential client or customer, you want to make sure that they look their best and they sound their best. Keep that in mind. Another thing is, and this is going towards the full-time employees or the ones that are on board career-wise, the distributed team theory or structure. Teams can now be globally distributed, regionally distributed. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Not only is that a plus for the business themselves in terms of acquiring talent, but with the tools we have today, we can bring all those talented people together and be able to communicate effectively. So when you're doing an office setup, I recommend that you get to know the business and how they are communicating. What are their main platforms for communication? Is everybody in the office? Great. Now you know where to go. Is it hybrid? 50% in the office, 50% remotely. Is it regional? Is it international? Whatever that may be, you need to know these things because the communication that's going to be done or the presenting that's going to be done is going to determine the actual equipment that's going to be installed. So keep your mind open and understand that the company may not be in one location. It probably isn't based on today's environment. And make sure they have the proper equipment to be able to communicate effectively. So another thing we need to think about is the schedules of the employees, right? And this goes back to what we just discussed in terms of working anywhere in the world and being able to communicate. You need to make sure that, understand that, if it's a full-time office solution, are they going to be there 40 hours a week? If it's a hybrid solution, make sure they're set up for both scenarios, right? So keep in mind that people's schedules today may not be that 9 to 5. It could be anything. It could be around the clock, right? I talked about regional and distributed teams. Think about time zones. Time zones are no longer a barrier, really, when it comes to business and communication. So just make sure that, if you have a current client that made that transition, make sure they were able to or are able to transition and make sure they're prepared for that transition in the future. So, ask your clientele, what changes are going to be made in terms of scheduling. Are your employees coming to the office 40 hours a week? Are they not? And that'll really determine the direction that that you're going to be going in when in terms of integrating this technology. Like I said, well, commercial integrator uses this term, one big coffee shop. And I guess that term can be applied to like the headquarters or the HQ of a business. But well, maybe that doesn't exist anymore. Maybe there isn't an HQ. Maybe there's multiple coffee shops around the country. Keep that in mind in terms of networking and communication. So again, this all ties back into this change of how we actually work and how we get to work and how we communicate to our colleagues and our potential customers. And last but not least, they use the term a more even playing field. And this one's interesting. And again, this is going to be based on costs, based on keeping overhead costs down. And when I say overhead costs down, so as this situation occurred, companies were, a big expense is not only, the employees themselves, but the leasing agreements, the physical space they actually operate out of, excuse me. With clientele working remotely, companies were able to downsize. When I talk about downsize, I mean the physical space that they actually worked in. And they saw cost savings and their eyes opened wide up. And this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Obviously, everybody's in it to make money. This is a business. And they need those tools to be able to succeed, based on the scale of their business. So the way it actually changed, during this entire thing. So this all ties into, how companies actually changed over time and, the direction that they're actually going in. A couple tools that we offer that comes to mind, when setting up potentially collaboration type environment. So we do have a collaboration line, as you guys know, with our Lanubio and Amio series. These are fantastic units. Fantastic units. Keep your eyes out on the Lanubio, by the way. Could be something coming up. But yeah, I mean, we're ready to dive in and integrate with anything potentially out there, whether that be software, whether that be hardware externally. But we do have solutions when it comes to collaboration. So, for example, let's say a company had a large space. They downsize that space. They have small huddle rooms, as we call them, or collaboration rooms. And, they want to throw up some meeting spaces for contacting their internal employees as well as reaching out to potential business right then and now. We're able to connect to potential sales clients, to customers, to employees with the click of a button. No longer does a company in Germany have to fly over here to conduct a business call. It can be done visually now, naturally. So a big thing that we push with our Lanubio and Amio series is that natural conversation. We don't want to be, again, I think I said this in my previous podcast is, talking into the mic. The Lanubio and Amio are designed to sit back. As you can see, my voice comes out as I move back. But with those products, you can just sit back, relax, and talk 10, 20 feet away, no matter where you are in the room. Due to beam steering technology, it'll pick you up naturally. You don't have to talk into a microphone. You don't have to stare into a camera. That's where the industry is going. And to be able to just click a button, connect to anybody in the world, and conduct a major business deal is absolutely astounding. And we've had these products out for, quite some time, but now it's become relevant once people actually get their hands on these products and use them and see how effective they are in a business environment. That, hey, we don't have to hop on a plane to go conduct this. We can speak to these people naturally, clearly, visibly, just as they were physically inside a room. That's how amazing it is. All right, guys, that is it. We'll link the article in the description below. Once again, every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I want you guys to come home from work, sit down on your couches, pop your earbuds in, or earphones, whatever, headphones, and Yeah, let's succeed together, right? This is the idea. Take some value from this. We do want to hear back from you guys, so please let us know in the comments. Give us a call. As you know, many of you guys know us personally as much as you can. We are a small company, the U.S. division that is, and we love to help you guys out, especially when it comes to integrating and optimizing and re-engineering and making things work for you guys. Because we here at TOA love to never say no to a potential solution or an installation. We always want to make it work, and 99.9% of the time, we can make it work. So make sure you guys are reaching out to us. All right, guys, enjoy your week. We do have a webinar coming up this Wednesday, by the way. Make sure you're signed up. We're going to be talking about back to the schools once again, but we're going to be talking about pro audio type solutions, the HX7 series, our DA amplifiers, large auditoriums, installations, some cool stuff that, you know, maybe, you guys know what we have. And we do have some awesome gear that can really rock in larger spaces. So we're going to be discussing that. It's going to be myself, Dan of engineering, Mr. Dan Shore, Ian Weingold, head of sales in the South, and my colleague, Andy Herrerios, who you've seen previously. He's going to be joining us, which is really cool. And we're just going to be sitting back and talking about, you know, what's going on with our current solutions for those type of applications. All right, guys? So we'll see you then this Wednesday and then every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, guys, I'm Eric from TOA Electronics, and take care and enjoy your week.